I think a lot of people will know what the butterfly effect is, which is that analogy from chaos theory that a very tiny, seemingly insignificant event can cause ripples and waves that cause something massive and unpredictable to happen. And we use that in Until Dawn in that at any time in your story you can change the status quo slightly by a decision you make, action you take, and that can set off ripples so that something that wouldn't have otherwise happened, that is significant, happens later in the story. And it's all logical, it's all connected, it's not random. Well, from when you start the story, you play as different characters at different times, and each of them through the course of the night can meet a terrible end, so to speak, or they can all survive depending on the decisions that you make. And when a character dies in Until Dawn, then the story adapts so that it no longer contains that character. They're not in the future scenes that they would have been in. They're not there at the end when you get your unique ending to the game. And we think that's a fundamental part in creating that terror, in that you can't just try again when somebody dies. You've lost them for your story, and that's a big threat in itself. A non-gamer will have a different experience than an experienced gamer, there's no doubt about that. But they'll have no worse a story and no worse a movie, if you like, in terms of how that plays out and what they see and how dramatic it is and how exciting it is. That will be equal for both. Obviously the more experienced gamer might find a lot of the satisfaction in those timing, skill, judgment parts of the game that are more akin to what you call more traditional gameplay. There are certainly there is a game mechanic in there that's around aiming and shooting within the game, and we haven't actually revealed what that is yet. And again, that has some differences to traditional shooting and ties much more closely in with our interface. But it still requires skill and timing to get it right. So you can try that and fail. We have very much steered clear of any kind of repetitive tapping of buttons and so on. And we've tried to keep everything connected to what the character is doing through the DualShock 4. So even picking objects up and turning the controller to rotate them and look at them and pick up clues, to the way that we aim, the way that the character turns their head and looks with the flashlight or whatever light source they're carrying. So what we're trying to do is to keep a connection between what you're doing as a player and what the character you're controlling is doing at all times, and trying to mimic that movement, if you like. And so our mechanics for those kind of things are different to what people may be used to, but again, a lot more connected to what we're doing as a player.